Hi, welcome back to another episode of Badge and Business Pentwater Talks. This is episode 17. Uh, Eva and I recorded this a little bit back, but we thought it was important enough that we wanted to share it with you. So, Pentwater Fire Department and Hart Fire Department are doing some exploration into creating a fire authority. We did take an opportunity to get our fire chief, Jonathan Hugert, into the studio and ask him some questions about that. So, this is our interview with Jonathan about the fire authority. And I would tell you folks, this is an important thing. You need to know about and understand how it's worked and what the impact is going to be for you all in the fire district if it comes to pass. So, without further ado, I'm going to run the interview that we did with Jonathan, and then I will see you next week for another episode of Badge and Business Pentwater Talks. And we want to talk about some of the other actually pretty exciting things going on with the fire department. And Jonathan, you guys have got you got a effort to create a fire authority. Tell our viewers what that is. What's a fire authority and why is it different than what's going on now?
So we've been looking at creating a fire authority for the last couple of years. It's became really public in the last few months. So the authority would be when two or more entities get together and form one joint department or one joint entity. So as of right now, Hart Fire Department and Pentwater are looking at becoming an authority or one department. The name as of right now, which could change, is the West Michigan Fire Authority or the West Mich Fire Authority. So our local politicians, there's a committee formed with them. They've been working on this authority agreement and really starting to talk about the next steps. But it's really exciting. In this day and age that we live in, you really cannot do it alone anymore. You really need to partner with your partners. And in the words of Troy Maloney, Hart and Pentwater have been dating for a while, and it's time they get married. So we're looking at it.
Is that your tagline right there?
That's the tagline.
Great.
That's the tagline. And we should say Troy is our emergency manager for Oceana County.
Yeah.
Troy's been a great help with Dwight Fearing and I really spearheading this authority with us. But you really can't do it alone anymore. Call volumes throughout the nation. It's not just a Pentwater and Hart problem. Call volumes are really increasing significantly every year. And at the same time, volunteers are going down every year. So to give you kind of an idea, when I first joined Pentwater, like 14 years ago, we had over 30 members on just Pentwater Fire Department. And now we're at 15. And we're running more calls than ever in Pentwater's history. When I first got on 14 years ago, we were, running 200, 250 calls a year, and now we're pushing that 450 mark consistently for the last 2 or 3 years.
Well, and I think it's important for folks to know too that this is not the first thing that you've been involved in. When did you become chief?
2021.
Yeah, this is not the first thing that you have started to improve services, because I think we started talking about having police department members
Medicals,
who are what is called medical first responders only. And so, Jonathan, we talked about it back then. We thought it was a good idea, and this is a direct reason for what you're seeing play out now. We are all trained now. I think we've got 3 now that are trained as medical first responders only. And what that means is that when there's a medical call in the Pentwater Fire Department footprint, so that's Crystal, Weir, and Pentwater Township, basically, the officers on the Pentwater Police Department will respond to those in some cases. If it's really far out of the village, we might not respond depending on where it is. Okay, but I know I've been lost in Crystal many times trying to find places, but we do respond to those medical calls. And when folks call for an ambulance and they're a minute feels like an hour. It always does. And so when our guys get there, oftentimes if we're working, we're the first ones there, and we're trying to get things done. And sometimes it takes a while for another first responder to get there, because we're either pulling out a heart or we're pulling. We don't know where the guys are. So it is a critical issue because we get a lot of medical. I mean, you've got the most current stats, but how many medicals are we running a month, maybe?
Yeah, so we're running anywhere between 35 and 40 medicals a month, especially during the summer. After the summer months, it decreases a little bit, but we're really, even in the winter months, we're seeing pretty steady numbers, which is surprising. It used to drop off significantly.
To circle around then, Jonathan, if people want to, whether they want to become a member of the fire department or if they want to learn more about this new marriage that's happening with the fire departments, where can they find the information? Is it on your website yet, or is it still not officially out there yet?
So we've been to all the local townships and villages. We've been to their meetings and have given a presentation on it. The stuff that we presented on is not on the website yet.
Okay.
But however, if anyone has any questions, my contact information is on our website, which is pentwaterfiredepartment.com. And they're more than welcome to contact me, contact Troy Maloney, Dwight Fearing. More than happy to answer any questions and sell you the marriage.
Yeah.
Well,
I will say, the fire department has a lot of support and a lot of people behind them. So I think they want to, learn more in ways that they can support you even further.
I've got a couple questions that I get all the time. And so when you're ready, I'll fire them at you.
Fire away.
The first one is, does this mean we're going to lose our fire department in the village?
No, you are not losing your fire department in the village. The fire station is not going anywhere. The fire trucks are not going anywhere. However, you just may see some new faces coming into the village on these calls, because now we're also pulling from men and women from Hart as well, versus just a select few from Pentwater. But your fire station and your trucks and firefighters that are in Pentwater, we're not going anywhere. You're stuck with us.
So if I call 911 with a fire call or medical call, I'm not going to see any different if I'm just a Joe citizen?
No, honestly, the change will probably be kind of blind to the public, because the operational side is not changing. You call 911, someone's going to show up. And it might not be someone who you may know right now, just because we're pulling from Hart as well, but someone is going to show up. Nothing on that front is changing.
Okay, and the next one is, what's this going to cost me? Is this going to cost me more money?
So as of right now, it is not costing any more money. The fire millage that you're already paying covers it. Now it's that money is going to the fire authority. So to give you an idea, prices for everything is going up. And then if you put fire department on it, it really increases. So we had a millage that failed, and that really kind of made us decide to really pursue the authority more about partnering, because everyone needs gear, everyone needs trucks. We pay our employees So we were trying to figure out how to spend that money better and how to make it go a little bit further. And the best choice was the authority. So it's not going to cost anymore. And just by the two fire departments combining together, we will get 2 full-time Monday through Friday employees. And the idea behind that is one will be here in Pentwater and one will be in Hart. And, as it grows, maybe we'll be able to hire more. But as of right now, it does not cost the taxpayer any more money.
So I'm hearing a lot of good things and positives and pros. What's an example of a con that people are giving you pushback on?
I wouldn't say it was a con. I would say it's more of questions like Laud is having is what happens to the fire trucks? What happens to the fire department? I honestly have not heard a lot of negative feedback about it. And if there is negative feedback, I would love to hear it because we want to make this work for everybody. But I've heard lots of positives, but it's mainly of what's happening to the fire department employees. Like, are they going to be hired with the new authority? As the fire trucks going anywhere? Is the aerial staying in Pentwater? Is the fire station staying open? And all those answers are yes. It's staying open. Everyone's moving over to the authority, and the aerial is staying in Pentwater.
All right. Well, we'll definitely have to keep track of how this progresses.
Yeah, I think the other question I've heard that, and people don't realize this, the amount of paperwork and reporting and inventorying and taking care of, I get the same question. It's a 3-man department. You got 8 guys working. It must be a breeze. But the reality of it is everything that goes on in like a 20-man department, the same stuff goes on here. You just have less people to deal with it. Can you talk a little bit about what the advantage of having one full-time guy in each station is? Because there'd be station houses. Yep. What the advantages is that for the public to have somebody there to pay that attention, to take care of the behind the scenes stuff that not everybody sees?
Yeah, so having someone here that's able to do office work, right? Like, we're making sure paperwork's filed with the state on time. We're making sure reports are done because we have to do medical and fire reports for every call that we go on. And so we're making sure they are put in on time. We're making sure we stay compliant on the medical side with our medical control. We'll be able to have trainings and someone at the station that can really plan these trainings to make sure we're staying compliant. And the big one too is exactly what you mentioned, Laud. Exactly why we explored the agreement with the police department is, all of us on the fire department, we have full-time jobs outside of the fire department. It is not staffed right now. So when you call 911 for the fire department, the reason why it takes us 15, 20 minutes to get there sometimes is because we're coming from all over. And the day and age of where you got to leave work for a fire call and stuff, that just doesn't happen anymore. So having that full-time person at each station, you'll see someone on scene a lot faster.
Yeah. I think the other important thing is this is not the complete fix. No. This is a stopgap to make the best use of what we have now most economic. And I think that's important. I think it's important for people to realize that because, this is not the end of the discussion. It's doing the best you guys can do with what you have for the public. So I think
Yeah,
it's
we're really slowing down that escalation of cost, I think is how we should put it. Because the cost is not going to go away. Gear's going to have to be replaced. SCBAs are going to have to be replaced. Trucks are going to have to be replaced. The nice thing right now is Hart and Pentwater are in a good spot financially and with their trucks. And a lot of things are duplicated between the two fire departments. So it allows us to slow down that cost escalation and really begin to start to accrue some money and have a long-term replacement plan and explore what the future really looks like without duplicating stuff.
That's great. I commend you for both all those departments together that are actually looking at the long-term plan to, make sure that the fire department doesn't ever go away, that it's still going to be sufficient there. So that's great.
And a lot of it's not just the Pentwater and Hart thing. If you look in the news, a lot of small communities like Hart and Pentwater are starting to explore this option because you really cannot do it alone anymore.